Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video we have another flower letter. This is flower letter number 22. As I said in my last letter, we are getting closer to wrapping these up. We only have a couple more to finish the story. Kind of sad, but I'm also excited to get another one started and to see what kind of mysteries and adventures and kind of special things that are in them. I always love the extras that they give us. So we are going to jump into this one. Our last one was a lot going on, and hopefully we will be hearing from Lily at some point. We haven't heard from her or her side of the story yet. We did hear from Matthew last, so let's do open this one and see perhaps if it's from her. Alright, so we have a beautiful postcard. I love the dark background on it and then how bright it is in the middle. I really love that. And the back of it. I am going to be doing something with these. It may be next year. I'm not really sure. I mean, of course, once I've collected them all. I have some ideas about it. I have been telling you guys forever now that, you know, we should frame these or we should do something with these. I have some ideas. Possibly a little bit down the road, I will get to do what I want to do with them, hopefully. We'll talk about that later on. But we have our letter. And we have our pretty little business card. Let's go ahead and show this. It's a little doll, and it has flowers around it. I love this teal-like color in the back. And it is called Lion Coffee Mocha Java. Join the Kings of Coffee. So this is like a coffee company business card. This is cute. From the front of this, I would not have even guessed it was coffee. Really love that. And ooh, we have Katie's wedding dress, guys. Okay, this was a spoiler, so I'm sorry, but this is going to be super cute. I'm not going to open it up all the way. I'm going to leave that as a teaser. And we have our letter. Feels kind of small. Let's see. Looks like we have about 2 pages, and it looks like it is going to be from Lily, and she is writing to Dr. and Mrs. Frisbee. So, this is interesting. So, okay, so we have this. We're going to go ahead and we're going to read the letter, and then we'll do this one last so we can find out what's happening. March 15th, 1885. Dear Dr. and Mrs. Frisbee, thank you for your letter. It has been such a long time since I've had any word from New York. It was wonderful to receive your news and all the fashion plates. Madame Lovelace insisted on sending. Please tell her I am decidedly in her debt. Plates will come in very handy when Katie and I open our new shop in California. As to the Horn Silver Mine crash, yes, it's all true. I can't tell you how surprised I was to find the story was in all the papers back east as well. And yet, why wouldn't it be? Especially when it was producing so much silver for the country, and world, really. The mine still hasn't opened back up, and they don't believe it will reopen anytime next year, which is a pity, because many of the miners say they only just reached the largest vein of silver they'd ever seen in the mine when it crashed. I imagine Mr. Cook and his Wall Street investors are beside themselves over the loss. It's tragic, really. Who knows how much silver they could have pulled from the mine if only they would have built the mine shaft properly. They're blaming the shareholders, claiming they were too eager, and that's what kept them from doing things properly. That's greed for you, I suppose. You asked about Frisco in your letter, and I believe your predictions are correct. Frisco has already seen a major exodus. It's only been a month, and already hundreds of families have left. Honey Craven just boarded up her tea shop and diner last week, which means Katie and I no longer have a landlady, or a cook for that matter. Honey just handed us the spare key and told us to stay as long as we like. Sheriff Parson, the man I told you about, the one Katie has agreed to marry, predicts there won't be more than 100 families left here in Frisco in 5 years' time unless they find some way to reopen the mine shaft to that largest vein of silver. Apparently, This sort of thing happens to Boone's towns like Frisco all the time. The mine collapses or runs out of riches, and the town dries up as though it was never there in the first place. It all makes me quite sad, really. In a strange way, I've grown to love this forsaken wasteland. With spring here again, it's almost pretty, even if we're still having to pay for our water by the bucket. But as you know, Katie and I won't be in Frisco much longer. How we both wish you could be here for a double wedding. We understand, of course, and want you to risk the journey, not with Mrs. Frisbee finally being in the motherly way. We know you've both been waiting so long for such a miracle, and we can't tell you how thrilled we are for you to finally have a little bundle of your own to love and care for, just as you cared for my darling Katie. To help you feel at least a little included in the wedding celebrations, I have included a sketch of both our wedding dresses. We know Mama would have loved to be the one to make them for us, so we decided to make them for each other instead. Although Katie did insist I design them both, since she has no interest whatsoever in that portion of dressmaking. As you'll see, we decided to go with something practical, since we'll all be leaving for California the day after the wedding. Katie was surprised I didn't demand we both have exquisite wedding gowns for marketing reasons, but who's left to market for? Anyway, I already had one wedding dress, and look where that got me. The way I see it, I may not have a dress of my dreams this time, but I certainly have the man of my dreams. All the silk and satin in the world couldn't bring that to pass. Katie and I are both very excited to begin this new venture. I feel just the way I did before leaving New York last April, only this time it's much better because I'll have Katie with me. And rather than going to meet my prospective husband for the first time, I'll have my dear husband with me as well. I know you would not only approve, but absolutely adore my Matthew. He is truly the best man I have ever known. In other news, as unconventional as it seems, Matthew and Sam have decided to become business partners with Katie and me. Miss Lottie Siglin has several contacts in San Francisco and Los Angeles who she says will be very interested in costume design I have created for her these past year. I assume her contacts are vaudeville show prosperators like Miss Lottie, but if we can gather enough clients and hire enough assistants, then more and more ladies' fashion boutique will finally become more and more house of fashion. Not only will we be able to provide jobs and beautiful clothes for countless women, but we'll be able to provide education as well. You see, Katie and I hope to do here in the West what Madame Lovelace does out in the East. We'll educate women in dressmaking so they can have respectable means of independently providing for themselves. My goal is to rival even the House of Worth in fashion industry. If I can make more and more House of Fashion prestigious enough, many women educated there will be in high demand for her dressmaking skills wherever she goes. We've also decided to take a leaf out of Miss Lottie's book. She's always looking for a desperate sister to help along her way, so we've decided to do the same. Sam and Matthew provide the investigative branch of our business. They will use their lawman skills to look for women in desperate need of respectable earned income. We will try to get to them before the wolves can. Then we'll teach them how to sew lovely dresses so they never have to look for work in these shadier regions again. I shudder when I look back and think of what could have become of me had Matthew not been there to help me find work when I was in my own desperate circumstances. I'm sure Katie told you all about Mr. Gamut's dishonesty, yet too many young ladies find themselves in such dire straits. Despite Miss Lottie's efforts, I saw it happen time and time again in Frisco. I know we won't be able to help all of them, not even Miss Lottie with her seamlessly endless fortune could help every one of them. Some of the young ladies didn't even want her help, but I can help some, and hopefully one day the ones that I am able to help will be in a situation to turn around and help another, like ripples in a pond. All I need to do now is find wealthy benefactors who are willing to support this vision. Don't worry, this isn't an appeal for funds. Miss Lottie has already agreed to sign on as our first benefactor. Bless her. I know that providing jobs and education for women part appealed to her the most. She's decided to invest rather generously from the start, but we will still need other investments. Hopefully, we will find enough generous-hearted people willing to take a chance on us out in California. We are the rather good team after all. Speaking of generous people, I don't believe I even properly thanked you two for taking such good care of Katie for me and for looking after us after Mama died. You are sure dear friends. You're the one part of New York we miss the most. If you ever decide to come out west, know you will always be welcome in the Parsons and Hicksman's home. Yours with love and gratitude, Lily Clara. P.S. Send word as soon as your little one is born. Katie and I are eager to make the entire wardrobe of pink or blue for the little one in celebration. And then right here in red, it says to learn about the House of Worth, you can get onto the Learn page, which is flowerletter.com, to learn more about that. That kind of sounds interesting. So that was our letter, guys. You guys will have to let me know what you think. We are kind of wrapping it up just a little bit. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see their wedding dresses. This was supposed to be a sketch that she sent of her sketch of them. I guess her and Katie's. So this one is Katie's, I believe. I'm going to try to see if I can get a close-up. Give you guys time to take in the detail. I love this shoe, and it wraps around her ankle almost like a ballet like shoe. I really love that. Just some of the details that she puts in this. It says Katie's dress is made of cobalt blue blush wool. Her overcoat is indigo crushed velvet with silk threaded embroidery on the yoke and bodice. Her skirt is double bustled, a straight bustle in the back, and my interpretation of a French bustle on the side. The cloth was so lovely by itself, there was no need for extravagant embellishments. Okay, let's open it up here. So, okay, here's the rest of it. And then if you guys have been watching these, and you guys do know that earlier in the series, there was an embroidery pattern that we got for this pattern here. I do want to do it. I have not figured out. I just thought about just sitting down and practicing it, perhaps when I get time, maybe a snowy day or a rainy day. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it, but I do have it saved and I want to use it on something. But we do have this pattern to go by. And down here we have, it looks like the thing she's got her arms in right here. I guess it's giving you a close-up. And then this is the back of it. It says, Katie has always loved a pretty muff. So I suppose this what the proper word for this is, a muff. So I designed one for her that was both functional and lovely. The inside is lined with white fox fur. Her shoes, I had the local cobbler fashion her a lovely pair of white leather carriage boots. Really love that. And then it says the back, the embellishment on the back of Katie's dress are 3 bands of 2-inch silk ribbon down the back and 2 more double bands of the same ribbon running down the hip and coming to a point at the knee. Beads and ribbon embroidery cascade down from both the bodice and each knee where the points of ribbon meet. Wow, that sounds very intricate and complicated, guys. And this is, of course, Miss Lily's dress. So here we are, and she's got her little parcel with her and her little shoes. That's super cute. I like hers. I like hers with the umbrella. I think that's super cute. It says, this winter traveling suit is made out of emerald green, brushed wool for softness and warmth. It is trimmed with black monk fur. The decorative trimmings are beads and baubles fashioned at the center of a large satin bow. So I'm assuming, if my camera will pick it up, hopefully, that it is this right here that she has. And from way over here, just looking at it, it almost looks like bones, but I'm not gonna, I'll just let you guys decide what you think it looks like. But anyway, this is her baubles and beads that she's got on there. Then it says, the black satin parcel with embroidery will be perfect for traveling in California. It would provide shade and shelter as well as style. The shoes are black leather with black satin ribbon and embroidery on the toe. wool stockings are a must. I do have to try me some wool stockings, guys, because I have heard pretty good things about those, and they keep you very warm during the winter. Okay, so the back of the dress, it says, the back of this gown is very simple with only the gathered bustle for orientation. If all my creations, this is the most sophisticated. Katie thinks it's too simple, and she's right. Compared to my last wedding dress, this one is very subtle, to say the least. Which I like it though. I mean, even if it's subtle, I still love the way she's got the back of it, and I think it's a perfect little suit that she's created here. So this is very cool. I really, really like this. I love her sketches. These are going to look so good framed. I do have some ideas for this stuff coming up, like I said, hopefully to get some of this stuff displayed and showed for you guys. So you guys let me know what you think about the letter, especially her wedding dress, her and Katie's, which I can't wait to hear more about that and about their trip to California. I do hate that the Horn Silver Mine has shut down, and of course everybody's leaving, so I do hate that, but you know, everybody has to have a new start, so I am happy to hear about their new start and their new lives in California. So let's hope that we will find out in our next letter. You guys do let me know what you think. Leave any comments if you have them, and I will see you guys back here in my next letter.